Hi, this is Stan Hustad, and you are invited to a new little presentation which we call the Senior Class. Wow, the Senior Class. I remember when that meant quite a bit to me. You know, I started school in a little school in Powers Lake, North Dakota, and I remember sitting there in those cold arenas and seeing the seniors. Oh, those big, oftentimes big, husky Norwegian farm kids. And I thought, wow, that must be something to be a senior. Well, before I knew it, there I was. This time, though, in a small city in Marshalltown, Iowa, and all of a sudden I realized that not only was I a senior, but here it was the end of May going into June, and those of us who were in the senior class, we were getting ready to graduate from high school. Who would have thought? And I still remember, you know, I went and finished up, had taken all my tests and all my exams, and then I turned and took my gym locker and took the padlock off it and went back and gave it to the gym teacher, and I got my $1 deposit back. And then he signed off that I was fine. And then I took the $1 and I went to the librarian and I paid a 38-cent fine. And she signed off and she said, okay, now take this to the office and they'll check everything else and they'll sign you out. And so when you graduate, you'll get your diploma. So there I was, and I took it to the to the school secretary, and she saw that all the things had been checked off, and then she checked her records and she said, congratulations, Stanley. You are now going to be an official graduate. You are even done with your senior year. And there I was, a high school graduate. And, you know, $1, 38 cents. I had 62 cents in my pocket. And I remember, though, walking out and saying, wow. It seems like it was the achievement of a major goal, and I really couldn't imagine much of life beyond that. That had been such a long time intention and direction. Well, of course, that's now well over a half century ago. And like most of you, there are a number of things that I celebrate, and there are a number of things that I have some fairly deep regrets about. But what I'm beginning to understand is that perhaps, as one of my mentors, and by the way, I'm discovering that the older I get, the more and more mentors I need. I thought that I would be mentoring and there would be a whole slew of young mentorees that would follow me around. And well, I might have a few, but what I really need are people like most of you who have different experiences and different understandings. And one of the things about being at this stage of this senior class is I think perhaps if we're wise, we're perhaps a little more open to new and wonderful things. I'm discovering that more and more life has to be lived very much in the present moment. And I'm discovering that more and more I have to keep learning. Not just playing and doing, but I have to keep learning. And then this has been hard for me to understand that when life is really at this stage, I'm primarily the person in the senior class. We're primarily called to be a channel, a conduit, a kind of through pipe of love. I never thought I would say something like that. But to understand that the source of all love is way above and beyond who you and I are, and it's meant to flow out to all kinds of other people. Even people I don't like. And even people that because of some things they may have done, I may even hate. But what I'm supposed to do is more and more be a flow-through, that the love of God flows through and kind of overwhelms others. And that truly, as one of my mentors said to me, he said, Stan, we live under the mercy. Or as one of my friends said, hey, you know what? You're 70. From now on, you're playing on the house. Playing on the house. Well, these are some of the things we're going to talk about from time to time on the senior class, and I hope you'll join me for a weekly thought coming your way from Saddlebrook, Arizona, and a Resurrection Church at Saddlebrook. And we invite you to participate, and hopefully we'll learn together just a few things that might help us live better in the fourth quarter of life, because that's where we are at, aren't we? And that as we learn together in the senior class, things will go better for us and for the ones we love and care for. All the best.